Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 101 of Direwolf20 Server Play Series. Soren, you've done it again.
I've made things.
I can see that you've made things. So I believe that all you've worked on since last episode, because basically looking around the base, there's not much changed.
Go underneath the base, the entire floor is 3 deep now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so that took a little bit of time to actually make that happen.
Cool. It's 3 deep?
It was 3 deep.
Okay.
So if you cut anywhere in the platform, you'll have 2 blocks to go down. So one layer is going to be cables, one layer is going to be the floor, and the other one's going to be concealing if you go underneath the base. You can't see all the cables.
Okay. That's cool. Did you do that with the builder? Because that would have been like silly easy with the builder.
I thought about doing the builder, but I thought about that halfway through. I was using the builder wand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it would be really easy with the builder. Your grid has no power.
No, your grid has no power.
Is that my grid?
That's your grid. My grid has lots of power. I have 1700 power.
Oh, okay, cool. We just updated the server, got a new version of Applied Energistics, got a new version of Super Circuit Maker, got a new version of this and that. Soren's streaming at the moment. I'm cleaning up my inventory a little bit. Why is my grid empty? Okay, we're back. Might have been a crash. Blame Amadornis.
Yes.
So blamed, so blamed. Super blaming. Alright. Things and stuff. So, Soren. I'm trying to decide, like, what order to start moving things in. I think what we should have is power gen in that dimension. That should be one of the first things that we move over.
Uh-huh.
You agree? I presume?
I would. I'm trying to get my old circuit to see if it can work before I actually say yes to that.
Fair enough. Alright, well, we'll be back in a minute then, once Soren's good to go. Alright guys, we're back. You may not recognize this place, but it's what used to be my deep resonance chamber. Oh, I forgot to get the ones on the top. I gotta clear these all out. What's that?
You have one of those, don't you?
A deep resonance chamber? Yeah. I mean, I did. I just literally broke every single block in the room. So, right now, I'm clearing this out because I want to move it. I think that I can make it even more automated than it was in the past. And I think that I can really do some cool stuff. So let me get the rest of the ceiling and we'll be right back. All right, all cleaned up. So, let's go. I'm actually going to go to the new dimension. So where, Soren, would you like me to build this room?
The power room? Maybe over here.
Yeah, for the crystal. So keep in mind that there might be some negative effects spilling out of it. So maybe some place that we don't hang out a lot.
How big of a range for that?
I was going to use one of these squares. And it can be in the same room as your energetic generator. It can be like basically our power room. How much room do you need for your energetic?
That's a good question. Not a lot of room, but I can get an exact amount. It depends on, okay, so that one depends on how distant the blocks are.
Right.
Or how they are set up. And I didn't know if we were going to do 6 or 4.
Right.
Per generator.
Okay. So let me build mine as compact as possible, and then you can come in and see if you can fit it in the same room.
This is the center of the room. It's gonna look awkward for currently, but that's the center of the room. That square.
Okay. So let me build the generator first. So basically we're gonna want a generator with purifier, crystallizer. I need to know where all my things are. We're gonna need the energy collector. There should be something in here called a pedestal. There it is. Right, so basically let's use, so this is a chunk boundary, right? We wanna keep it within this chunk. So if we had the generator, right? And then we had the generator controller, should be in here somewhere. valve. Power monitor, valve, generator controller. Beautiful. Okay, and I should have levers that can just work as my... Now I think, can the pedestal work from right next to it? That's a question that I want. Well, 1 block away should be fine. You sit on top. Okay, and RF should be flowing in. Nice. That's awesome. Cool. So that can be a nice compact room, right? It doesn't have to be too big. Now, we're probably going to want the block, not the valve. There's a block in here. Not the valve. It's not a valve, is it? I don't think it's a valve. No, the valve is the liquid one. There should only be one of them. But basically, it's what can break and replace the resonating crystals that are burnt out. Which luckily I have a couple of to experiment with. Where is that thing? Smelter, Crystallizer, Crafter, Purifier, Valve, Power Monitor, Valve, Sag Mill, Liquid Monitor. That's for my lava right there. Fluid tank configured. Liquid monitor, tank, smelter. Alright, let me find it and we'll be right back. Oh wait, it was the pedestal. The pedestal is not what we put the crystal on. The pedestal... The crystal can be sitting on that just fine. The pedestal is the one that we... Now, I don't know if it has a specific side that it needs to face. But I think we put an iron chest, which I should have in here. Yes, you. On here. Alright, and provided that there's a crystal in there, right? You should be failing to generate power. I think this is right. No, that's totally right. It might need to be that it needs to be facing this direction. So with a crystal in there, cool. Great. That's what I want. Okay. And then, okay, cool. Cool. So we might want some conduits running up from underground there, but that's what we want. Okay. So all you guys can go in there and chill. Okay. Then we need to automate the creation of the liquid, which is going to be the larger part of this build. But the key with this part is this is where we're going to enclose this room with the radiation protection stuff. Okay. So now what I could do is shift this over a little bit. All right, Soren's giving me the room real estate that I'm going to want. So now that I have a rough idea of how I want this laid out, we're just going to move this over a little bit. So we'll put these guys here. This guy here. This guy here. This here with the crystal on it. Okay. And then this will be the power generation chamber. Pretty much, right? So that should work. And then we'll have the chest here with, so let's say that this is here. Perfect. Cool. So we might want items piping into both the chest and the pedestal. But that should be fine. Now, do I need to enclose this in obsidian? Probably. Otherwise, it'll leak out that way. So, and then we might want, like, glass in the front here so we can see it. That's what I'm thinking. Right, guys? So we'll probably want like this. With... Yeah, that looks cool. We might want a little bit more of this glass. Might have exactly enough, to be honest with you. That's kind of neat. Sweet. I like it. We can kind of see what's going on in there. And then let's do... This might be hidden behind the wall eventually. But let's just do redstone. Conduits. And we'll need to do the floor as well. But this is the generator controller. And he's getting power now. Neat. And the generator should have a little bit of power in it, which we can't totally see right now, but I should be able to... Nope, can't pop through that wall. Can I just... Yeah, there we go. Nice. A little bit of power in there. So let's get this floor area pretty much protected. So you're not going to probably have a connection going into you. Well, I mean, through the back, so that should be fine. But I've actually got like a decent amount of this stuff right now. Because I'm making this room much smaller. So we can add like some extra protection here for the radiation leaking out. So I'm thinking we might want the output to the bottom here. And if that's the case, then we'll have protection in the back. So really the only way in and out of this room will be through that bottom part, and then probably right through here. Do I really not have more of this stuff? Here I was saying I have a ton of it, and I don't have as much as I thought. I have a half a stack left. So connection will come up here. These will be item conduits. And they'll basically connect in like that. And we'll be able to put in stuff and pull out stuff. And that should be good. Cool. And that'll go down through here. And that should be nice and safe. Cool. And then the redstone conduiting can go down here. So this is just getting this whole setup good to go. Soren, come inspect my dire wire and tell me that it's not horrible.
What is this? Okay. Alright. Oh, I still like that effect.
It's good, right? This lever probably won't stay here. I'll probably have something going underground. But that should be cool. All right, now let's do stuff with the liquid stuff. So what I'm doing now, guys, is working backwards. So we're gonna have the crystallizer here. And he will be responsible for piping items this way. Okay, so there's the dude that we're gonna pipe items to, right? So that's his job. So he He needs to sit on top of a tank, doesn't he? The crystallizer needs to be placed on top of a tank filled with RCL. It will consume the liquid in that tank and form a crystal out of it. It also needs power. So it needs to be sitting on top. So if that's the case, then we'll probably want... What I'll probably want to have is the tank with the RCL. Okay, so what we want to do the tank and the crystallizer, and then you will wind up piping your item out to here. And we'll connect to this guy. We'll have like inserts and extracts on those configured in a minute. But for now, we're just doing the basic setup, right? Now, there's a thing that I'm going to want to do. And I think it's going to be a surprise. But there's going to be a thing here that will transfer our liquids from this tank to this tank. So this tank is going to be the one that's going to get infused, right? So that'll be the infusion tank, right? And then once it's fully infused, it's going to transfer over to there. Now, we might want to have valves, and we might want to have filters. Where would my filters be? I would imagine that I have several filters in here somewhere. There's my smelter. There's some more tanks. This one has lava in it, so that's the one that goes with the smelter, right? These are purifiers. That's what I want. So if I put a purifier, do you have to be underneath? With the purifier, you can do this, and you put the tank with the RSL that you want to purify above the purifier, and another tank below it. The purifier can only purify up to 85%. Gotcha. Can also work with a single tank on top or below it. Cool. Well, that's good to know. So if it can work with a single tank on top of or below it, then what I can do is put the purifier here, okay, and you can purify the tank that's above you while you're being infused. Neat. I like that. So then we want the infusion laser. So where would that be? The lens, we're going to want the infusion laser. Okay. The lens is going to go on the side of this tank. I'm trying to make this as compact as possible in case you guys didn't catch on to that. Now, I think you need a block space in between you, but I forget. Infusion laser? Yeah. The lens has to be on the tank and the laser facing the lens. If you have the laser, one empty space, the lens, and finally the tank. The laser, one empty space, the lens, and then the tank. Cool. So then we just need to get the crystallizer, the crystallized liquid going, right? Just trying to decide how we can do this any more compact than the way we have it, because I think it's pretty close to good. Now this thing could be moved over one and the piping being behind it. And that would still be within the chunk, right? Yeah. Let's move this over one. So then I'm thinking we can do the tank here with the lava in it. With the purifier, no, with the smelter, right? Which should have the tank below filled with lava and a tank above, which will be filled with RCL. Cool. Excellent. So the plan will be that we get pressurized fluid ducts that will pipe straight out of here. Now if we connect you to orange that you provide, boom, right? And then you should be able to just run and you can accept perfectly, right? So RCL, boom, boom, to here, right? Then this stuff will be both purified and lasered at the same time. Then, once it reaches a certain point, it's going to dump into this tank, get crystallized, and then it'll output to the back. So how are we going to automate all this perfect stuff that we need to balance? You guys weren't supposed to go flying down there. Silly item conduits. How are we going to automate all this? Well, let's go get something. Yep, I did it again.
Maybe you should not have that world set.
I know, I really shouldn't. So what, pray tell, is the magic tank that's going to let us do things? Dun 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 dun! This guy. Yeah, we're going to program this. And it's going to be awesome. So first off, we're going to want our multi-tank here, but we don't want you connecting, so that's disabled, right? The multi-tank just extends the ability for this thing to hold liquids, okay? So we're going to write a quick program that should be able to read the liquid information inside this tank and do things based on it. Cool? So, let's see. We're going to need our programmer here. So there's a couple conditions that we're going to want to have. Down here, we've got read purity. Nice. Read strength. Read efficiency. And read quality. And based on these things, what we'll do is we'll tell it, hey, get a certain amount of liquid in here. And I'm guessing there's probably exam liquid internal. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is remove this crystallizer for a minute. Okay. Because I want to run through an operation of this. And I guess one other thing I should probably set up while I'm here is a way to pump water and liquids up. So we're going to want mana pump. We have fluid pump from Owners of Engineering. We want to keep a certain amount of liquid in this tank. Let's get that set up. We want to keep that lava full. All right, I think this can hold fluids with refined storage, right? So let's get a bucket of something. Could be water if all it matters. Well, no, let's do this properly. Let's do it properly. We're going to want our weak activation crystal. And we're going to have our ritual diviner. Let's put away that. Serenade of the Nether. Works for me. So that's what we're going to want. This. So what we're going to have is a Master Ritual Stone that makes lava. Beautiful. Okay. Then we're going to want... I had to put these away because that's literally how tight I am in terms of stuff. We shouldn't need that there anymore. So we're going to want, let's say, a controller. Look at you feeding power to everything. That's right. Feed all the machines. Eventually we'll have power over here. We're just not quite at that point yet. I assume that you're, like, not feeding this controller for a reason. But anyway, you will in a minute. I might need conduit. Alright, Soren has something to show us. What are you making?
So I finished the processor line, so it'll stop after a certain point.
Nice, how many?
So, whatever is in this drawer.
Neat.
Limit for each item. I think it's 512 for each.
That's cool. So I'll just constantly make them until it runs out.
That'll be the resources or space.
Space, yep. Right. That's cool. I notice there's no controller on this line, right?
Do you want to take a guess at how many channels I'm using?
How many?
I don't know. A lot.
How are you doing that without a controller?
Subnets.
Yeah.
So we've built this in a way that these connections between the inscribers are
Right.
just import and not export, essentially. There's only 2 channels used up.
Cool. Interesting.
Yes. And this is expandable for the silicon. So you just need to add another inscriber, another pipe.
I can feel the lag already.
Okay, that's fine.
As long as you're good. I'm good as long as you're good.
I mean, as long as the server's good, I'm good.
Yeah. It's not
So
bad.
therefore,
I'll
if the
check.
server's good, you're good.
Yeah, no, it's pretty happy right now. Server's good. All right, so what I'm gonna have now is I'm gonna put this thing away for the time being because I need the inventory space. Every block matters at this point. So we're gonna let this connect. So you've got power now, right? Now we could probably just put this right next to you. 64K fluid storage. And we could put, I'm gonna block this for a sec. We could put the destructor here, facing that. Now can you just go right into that? So I just need to put you on fluids mode. And you're gonna start filling up with, you can hold 64 buckets. Awesome.
My system's turned off, and now there's spikes along this graph of FPS.
Yeah. Check out what I made
you
from
just-
over here.
I know, that's what I'm wondering. There's spikes on the graph now. Oh, dear. So this sort of thing we're going to want to put in in your old base.
Yeah. Why is that? What's
And
wrong
warp
with
it up, because it's set lock every time that lava disappears.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen too frequently. Once the 64K fluid fills up,
Okay.
should be fine. I mean, it's going to be like, look, the 64K fluid can store 64 buckets, so it's 50 down.
Okay.
Like it's almost done.
Okay.
It's not spiking that much for me, and I'm recording right now.
No, it's not spike. Well, look at the graph. It should be pretty flat right now.
It's pretty flat for me. There's the occasional spike, but it's not in tune with that. So then what we're going to want is a liquid monitor. And we're going to want to say, probably attached to this tank. We could probably put it here. Right? That should work. And then we could have this dude hooked to that. We're going to say that you need to connect to this guy. Okay. And then you're going to tank. And you're going to emit a redstone signal when it's more than 45%. Right? No. When it's less than 45%. Disconnect you. Thank you. Less than 45%. So if it's less than 45%, emit a redstone signal, turning this on, right? That should work. Yeah. We'll see if 45% is a good number to stick with. But it should be cool. Alright, so let's get some... I wonder if Soren has any resonating ore. Wow, you have a lot of resonating ore, dude. How long did you run that quarry for?
What, for nether quartz? Quite a bit.
No, resonating ore. Your quantum quarry. How long were you running that for? I ran mine a lot, and I have like 200. You have 1.6k. You crazy, dude.
I also didn't use mine when I first... I used 3 or 4 ore at the very beginning, I think, and then never used it again. I get lucky.
Fair enough, but still. that's the infusing laser. We're also going to want you to be on the smelter. What else needs power? The processor, but I can hook him up with the wireless doohickey. For now, that's going to be power good.
I'm also the person who got the Mercy Witch skin.
Yeah.
Second loot box. So.
True. Okay. So I want this to not be purifying yet, and you are not going to have any... Well, you're not getting a redstone signal, so you shouldn't be running. So that should be fine. So if we put 30 in here, you should start smelting. And the fluid should go directly to here. I might need to configure that thing to extract, but that's okay. So 200 amount. We're going to set you to always active. Boom. You go into there. Cool. All right. So that's processing. Now, you should kick on a redstone signal. That's right. I want you to go fluids. We're still at 100% quality. What's the number that's going to be 45%? 7200 should be 45%. So this should actually be running right now. Are you not emitting a redstone signal, or are you not working? Exporter, only work with redstone signal. Type fluids. Oh, right. I think you should be set to accept lava. Let's check with a redstone lamp. So this is still all 100% quality, so that's good. So are you not emitting your redstone signal? Hold on. Nope, you are. Okay. So if you're emitting a redstone signal, maybe you need to be... Strong signal?
What are the chances we could, like, remove player rugs from the server?
Maybe.
Hey. I still, to this day, cannot name anything in the anvil.
Still 6600. Let me debug. Wonder if I have to tell it exclusively what it's exporting. I might have to specify. There it goes. Yeah, look. Okay, cool. Then I got to 76 and the light turned off. Perfect. That was the issue. Okay, cool. So then if we get this guy back on, I'm really proud of how compact this system is, by the way, Soren. It's like super compact and I love it.
I will come check it out again.
And then it bumped up to 9,000. Cool. Because it was pretty quick. So, as long as you don't have any quality issues, maybe I'll bump you down to 40%, which would be 10% less than a half, right? So that would be 1,600 short. That shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that would be around 64, I think. Yeah, 64,000. We'll make it like 42. We'll split the difference. Yeah, so this is super compact, guys. And I am super proud of that. I won't cover it up because I want Soren to see it. But yeah, that's awesome. All right, so let's get this thing to quality 100% and all the liquids, and then we'll be back. So we just have to wait for this thing to go. I could acceleration wand this thing, but I'm just going to let it go because I don't want to... I'm afraid acceleration wand will mess with the fluid amounts in here, and it'll run too fast for that. So back in a minute when that's done. All right, guys. So our quality's staying at 100%. Our fluid tank is staying where it belongs. We're going to wrap up the episode. We'll come back next episode and work on some programmer logic to make. So the processor's job will be probably going to put the tank on top of him, to be honest with you. But the processor's job will be to emit a redstone signal to turn on the infusing laser under certain conditions based on the liquid crystal in the tank. I'm probably going to measure the amount, so make sure once it's at 6,000, we'll make sure the purity is at a certain level. If the purity drops too low, we'll stop the laser until the purifier gets it back up to the right level. Then, if the strength and efficiency is the right amount, we'll swap it over into this tank where it'll get crystallized. Cool? So that's the plan. For now, Devil20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.